Hey, everybody, welcome. It is Dirty Thursday, brought to you by River City Speedway. Bullring Boys back in the house. Myself, I'm John Roberts, along with Chad Hoff, the other half of the Bullring Boys. We're going to call it NOSA 410 Sprint Car Rookie Show number 2. The number 50 of Brad Flaten on the show, along with the number 49 of Kim Young. This is going to be fun. We want to give a shout out to one of our sponsors, Executive Properties. Are you still putting off that project around the house that's been bugging you forever? Do you think you can wait until spring and call a contractor and have the work done ASAP? Well, good luck with that. Executive Properties has openings right now to get that project done. In fact, you can check out their Google reviews. Aaron says Chris and his team did a spectacular job on the damage to my aunt's garage and siding. Kept us up to date on the progress, and the finished product was amazing. Thank you for your professionalism and hard work. Hey, get that project done sooner than later. Call Executive Properties, 701-330-1273. And Executive Properties is now taking reservations for snow removal. You've got the number. Feel free to call them, Executive Properties. Speaking of calling, if you want to call or text any questions for any of us here in the studios at Grand Forks Best Source, our phone number is 701-213-0863, 701-213-0863. Feel free to text or call. All right, here we go. Time for our daily segment called Jokes My Neighbors Tells Me, but we're not going to do a joke today. We're going to do a race saying. See what you guys think about this one. See if you agree, see if you disagree. Old racers saying, racing, where you spend money you don't have, to buy things you don't need, to beat someone you don't like, to impress people you don't know. What do you think?
That's a good one.
Or how about this one?
Oh, another one?
Why race cars? Why race cars? Because clean hands, free weekends, and financial stability are overrated. There we go.
It's like the David Letterman thing.
There you go. There you go. You got to do one of them. There it is. Tell you what, we're going to be right back. We've got your Forks Karting Association update and your Forks Karting Association track schedule coming your way right after this. If you're looking for great food, great cocktails, and great service without needing a reservation, it's Buffalo Wild Wings in Grand Forks. A great menu that features B-Dub's famous wings, wraps, tenders, salads, burgers, and of course their famous sauces ranging from sweet to very, very spicy. And you can get awesome cocktails too. Grab a bite to eat, visit with friends or family, or watch your favorite sports teams on one of B-Dub's many ginormous TVs. Stop in to find out more about their numerous daily lunch specials, Wing Tuesdays, Boneless Thursdays, happy hours, and more. Make it Buffalo Wild Wings today for lunch or dinner, or both. 2717 South Columbia Road in Grand Forks. Go exclusive. Go Buffalo Wild Wings. Go B-Dubs. How about that? Boy, I tell you what, before we get going here with our interviews and our little BS session, let's do a Forks Karting Association update and a Forks Karting Association track schedule. Dale, the producer, is here, and what's happening, man?
Yeah, so no racing last night. We'll be having the last night of races here at Forks Karting Speedway, the state championship doubleheader on September 14th. John, you'll be there doing the play-by-play.
Yes, I will be Saturday. I can't wait. It's going to be fun. Double show.
Yeah, it's going to be super, super epic. It's a long show, but it's a fun one. Very special night. And then they just announced on Forks Karting, on their website, forkskartingassociation.com, they put out the final point standings for the regular season. Here's your point winners for each class. Junior 1, Isaac Johnson. Junior 2, James Mackhart. Senior Medium, Ryan Thorvalson. Masters, Eric Thompson. Junior 1, Yamaha, Lily Jarvis. The Junior 2, Yamaha, Ruby McDonald. Senior Yamaha, Brian Good. Junior 1, wing kart, Jackson Dahmeyer. And Junior 2, wing kart, Owen Broden. Those are your regular season point champions.
How about that? Make a little noise for them.
There's your update.
All right, thank you very much, Dale. And here we go, Forks Karting Association track schedule brought to you by Forks Karting Association. Now, you can watch the karts race most Wednesday nights all summer long at the Forks Karting Speedway at the Grand Forks Fairgrounds. Find out more by going to forkskartingassociation.com. And I didn't say Forks Karting Association this time.
I was going to say something. Good job. Nice.
Well, here we go, weather permitting. We got, if you didn't notice, a few sprinkles overnight and this morning, but tomorrow night.
Weird.
Yeah, oh, boy. River City Speedway in Grand Forks tomorrow night, the season track championship. We've got the NOSA 410 Outlaw Sprints with sort of late models, Midwest mods, street stocks, and the wingless sprints. Saturday, Devil's Lake, the Midwest Modified Golden Hammer, and night one of the non-wing Nationals Plus Track Championship. Pure stocks, Wissota street stocks, Midwest mods, the mods, and the non-wing sprints. Again, on Saturday now, Greenbush Race Park. This is actually Saturday and Sunday. Labor Day 2-day shootout with Wissota late models, the mods, the Midwest mods, the street stocks, the pure stocks, the 4-cylinders, and the lightning sprints. And in fact, big 2-day show. At the beginning of the season, we never would have thought this was even going to be a 1-day show in Greenbush. But the doors are back open. And in fact, is he standing by?
Yeah, John, there you go.
There you go. Dan, you there?
Yeah, hello.
Hey, Dan Wisco, the announcer at Greenbush Race Park. Tell us a little bit about this weekend.
Well, it's going to be an awesome way to close out our 2024 season here. Is we have all the classes you listed, the Wissota late models, Wissota modified, Wissota Midwest modified, the Wissota pure stocks, Wissota street stocks, the 4-cylinders, and the lightning sprints as well. So we got 7 classes on deck. Luckily, it's not going to be too hot, so hopefully by the end of the night, the feature should be rounding into perfect racing action on the track as it dries out.
So how is the first year of being the voice of going for you?
Oh, it's been a learning experience, but it's been a lot of fun. When they asked me if I wanted to do the job, I said I had a bad voice, bad accent, and might be awkward for a little while, but they still said you're hired. So.
Well, have you had to put out any fires yet? Because, that's what announcers do.
Yeah.
Everybody's gripes and complaints are going right to you, buddy.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah, I kind of feel like I'm the communication hub some nights there. But
Yeah,
you got to wear several hats when you're there.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you've got a great weekend planned for you. We're going to get you and Trapper and whoever else up here towards the end of the year here and talk about the resurgence of Greenbush, all right?
Yeah, sounds good. Like I said, we got some plans going for next year, and hopefully we can make a few improvements and like I said, hopefully have a good close to our season here. So.
All right. Thank you very much, Dan.
Yep. You guys have a great day. Thanks.
You too.
All right, there you go, Dan Wisco, Greenbush Racetrack. How about this? Scotty Iverson beat Nick Curtis to the first text this morning.
What?
Scotty Iverson. Good morning, guys. Good morning, gang. John Biergard. Good morning, all. Nick Curtis.
Oh, John, you're wrong.
They beat
John.
him. Yeah. Nope.
10:59. Nick Curtis got him.
Yep, Nick Curtis did. He was first again.
It's like a race.
I know.
That's their own personal race inside the race.
It's like Mark Kalk waiting for me at the drum to pick him up for the races. He's there at 11. I go to the track about 4:30, but at least he's full by the time I get there.
There you go.
We should probably talk to these guys, huh? Rookies.
I think they're sitting there for something.
Yeah. Let's start off over to my left. Here he is. He drives the number 50. This, and you're going to get a round of applause, is Brad Flaten. How you doing, man?
Well, it's another day.
Just cleared his throat.
Yeah, just another day.
Just another day.
Yeah, like
I'm doing good.
Something you
Doing
do
good.
every day, right? Just come
No.
into the studio.
No. Yeah.
Couple of questions. First off, to get this thing going, how old are you?
I am 20 years old.
You're 20 years old, and you are a rookie,
Yes.
and your last name is Flaten.
Yep.
Might ring a bell.
Possibly.
You could probably see it on
The car.
the back right behind me. Yeah, that car looks very familiar. The old man drove that car.
Yeah.
Or
looks
one
awesome.
similar to it.
I know at first we saw that, I was like, oh, dude, how cool you brought back the car. I mean, that looks amazing. Yeah.
So Ryan Flaten's son, by the way,
Yes.
and welcome to the show. We're going to have a good time today.
Dad's
And
watching too, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he watching?
Yeah, I saw him pop on there already.
Okay. Dan Wisco, former driver of the 50. Good morning, guys. Makes you feel old. You've raced against the father. And I believe, they're talking about you. But when we talk about fathers, we've got another one over here.
Yeah.
And everybody, he drives number 49. This is Kim Young. How are you doing today, sir?
Excellent.
Okay, I'm going to ask you the same thing I asked him. He's 20. How old are you?
70.
Are you really 70?
Yes.
I had no idea. I really didn't.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
I didn't think he was that
He
old.
wears it well.
Make that something. Yeah. Well, when you look at his shirt,
Yeah.
and you can still see a little bit of the Wolfgang autograph on there, you know he's been around for a while.
Right.
Now, the funny story, because this is your second go-around kind of in racing, and we'll talk about that, but when I'd heard of you before, because you had stopped basically before my time, I think, when I started at River City Speedway, and I'd always heard of you. I knew who you were, but I didn't know who you were. And but I knew Steven now for
Right.
how long? Steven Young, Steven Lewis, and As soon as I talked to you, I remember talking to you the very first time and going, "Oh my God, that's Steven's dad."
Yeah.
I had no clue, but if you know Steve and you sit down and talk to Kim for a couple of minutes, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, duh. How could you not know? But
That's cool.
I think this is going to be fun, and I've told you a million times what our thoughts are on Steven. Man, I tell you what, he keeps me. I lean on him a lot. Him and Amanda Joe. Boy, I would be tough without those guys. But how you doing today?
I'm known as Steven's dad.
Yeah. Yeah. That's all right. Yeah.
You know what? Next time I see Steven, I'm going to go, "Hey, how's it going, Kim's kid?"
Yeah. Right?
How's Kim's son doing today?
Yeah.
Yeah. How'd you get started in racing?
Well, obviously my dad had been racing at the track for a long time, so I'd been exposed to it as a kid a lot. But in the past couple of years, I'd been bothering my dad to start racing. Mm-hmm. And originally he did want me to do streeters.
I figured that.
But my heart was starting to set towards sprint cars, and he'd been working with Shane a little bit as his pit guy, working on his car, maintenance it. And then Shane just had a bent up frame sitting in the shop, and we put it on the frame rack and got it all set together and just put everything together, and then here we are.
And the rest is
history. Yeah. I was waiting for that.
And then we also go to Knoxville every single year, so that's also how I started getting, wanting to do it, because that just, once you go there, I mean, it's great to watch, especially the nationals every single year. It's a great race no matter what.
And now this is one of the reasons I don't go to Knoxville, because I want to start racing. I'd want to, because I used to do this stuff too. But now he's kind of giving me new hope over here, because, and I'll tell the story again. I had a car I was working on back when they had hobby stocks. I had a House Series 5, and I was building the car, and I was wrenching on an A-mod. We were running up in Greenbush, a buddy of mine, Brian Wild. And that's when I lived in Thief River. Well, then I met my wife. Well, I met her before and we got serious, and I sold the race car. And she's like, "Well, when I get my PhD and get a job, I'll buy another one." Well, we moved here, fast forward, whatever many years, and I'm working at the Speedway. And one day she goes, "Well, I got my job and all this. It's time." And I'm like, "For what?" "It's time to buy you a new race car." It took me all of about 11 seconds to say, "I'm good.
I'm good.
I think I'm okay right now. I got the best of all worlds, and I'm guaranteed money every Friday night."
Yes.
Which not everybody could say. So that is a good one, a good story there. But I wanted to ask you first, how did you get your number, 49?
Wolfgang.
Okay. Was he been your favorite driver forever?
Absolutely. First time I saw him.
Yeah.
That's just the cream of the crop. You
Yeah.
know?
How many times did you ever get to meet him face to face?
We got to be pretty good friends, actually.
Okay.
When I worked for Wayne Anderson.
Oh, sure.
And every time somebody wad up a car, we'd take it down to Doug's shop.
Oh,
and get it fixed.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And do you remember the old Open Wheel magazine?
I don't.
That dude was on the cover.
Oh, nice. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's
That's
I remember.
That's where the Liebrick Open Wheel song come from.
Sure. Yeah, that's right. Gosh, remember that from the funeral. I remember we used to have to go. I'm trying to think of where I had to go. There was a magazine shop or a smoke shop in Grand Forks way back in the day, and that's where I'd have to go to find Open Wheel, because man, I just absolutely loved it. Now, Brad, I think we know where you got number 50.
Yeah.
Now, have you had to do like the 50F yet or anything like that?
No, we haven't had any other cars with 50 at the tracks
What's
yet.
what's the one on the bottom? Is it 53? 50 like the
so
the
that
third
was,
generation?
Yeah, third generation.
I like that.
Yeah, my grandpa Mark raced back in the
See it on the
60s
bottom
and
there, John?
70s. And
Isn't
then
that nice?
obviously
That is
my
cool.
dad raced from I think 95 to about 2014. And then now here I am, third generation. So we figured might as well implement it into the number there. And
I never noticed that before.
A lot of compliments on it.
Honestly, didn't see that till right now. Because you can't see it on the car when it's going on the track.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
you can definitely see it now. How cool that is. That's pretty neat.
Does your dad have? Because I lean on your dad a lot too. Thank goodness for him, because he has taken the Hall of Fame night at River City Speedway,
Yes.
and he has taken it to the next level for sure. But does your dad and do you have a musical bone in your body? Because your grandpa's pretty damn good.
Yeah, I did instruments back in school, but nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
Okay. How about your dad?
I guess I've never heard.
You
if
always
did
love
any
the giggle
music.
right away when you ask the question.
I'd love to see Brad
do you have
singing
any
some Neil
musical-
Diamond or something.
You have any
Yeah.
musical and stuff? No.
It was so funny because when you look at you, I mean, you're a
Spitting
spitting
image.
image of your mom and dad.
Yep.
Cross between, I mean, just perfect. Your dad and mom are both like 9 feet tall. You're awfully tall, and then your grandfather is not. I mean,
Yeah.
he is not. And when he told me who he was, because we were watching him at a jam session at the Knights of Columbus one night, and he goes, "Well, I know who you are. You're the announcer." And I'm like, and he goes, "I'm Ryan Flaten's dad." And I about pooped my pants. I had no idea. No idea. You talk about your racing. You started racing when? The first time?
Oh, God. You'd have to check with Steven, but
That's a great answer.
it was in the 80s, 80, 85-ish, I guess. I started with Donnie Johnson, limited sprint, and that's the one I demolished.
Okay. Through the fence?
Yes.
Okay. We're going to show that in a minute here.
Oh, okay.
And then guy come up to me, this Bud, come up to me and said, we want to start a team. So that's when I met Bob Martin, and we built Bobby's first car in my garage.
Okay. Okay.
And that's when the Edmonds showed up because we were having a two-car team. So that's kind of when I got started for real, was with the Edmonds, I guess.
And then how long did you race on the first go around? How many years?
I'm not good with stats, Stephen.
Is he up yet?
I would say close to 20 years.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, wow, okay.
And was there a reason you hung it up, or was it just time? You just weren't having fun anymore, or walk us through that.
You kind of nailed it. It got to be more work than it was fun. That year we got, my last year, we got a whole bunch of rookies out there, and Dad's checkbooks were really big,
Oh, yeah.
and
Yep.
mine wasn't.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I got drilled in the rear end. My steering broke, and I got drilled in the rear end real hard, set into the infield. Couldn't feel my feet,
Oh boy.
Oh, man.
and I said, "That's enough of this."
Yeah, and just walked away. Now, were you one of those guys? Because I remember, when you walk away from something, a lot of the times you walk away.
Yeah.
You can't bring yourself to go back because the itch, the drive to keep doing it. Did you just step away, or did you still hang out at the track? Or,
I didn't go to the track for years.
See,
I
and then
couldn't-
that's
couldn't stand to be there.
Yeah, 'cause, it's funny because when you talk about Bobby Martin, I ran into Bobby because they're up here for like a month. And I would see Tori almost every Friday night in
Right.
the pits, but never Bobby. And that was one of those things. He just said, "I can't." He goes, "I can't. I'll drop him off, but I can't sit here." He goes, "Nope. I just got to stay away."
That's you hear that because you want to be out there.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So you get if you make the decision that you did, you stayed away, But then you hear that the big revival comes in when you took the Renegade.
Yeah,
Well,
that was pretty cool to
This
see
is all
that.
Tom Cummings' fault.
a lot of people
he's a
blame a
bad
lot of things on him.
This is the truth. I'm sitting out there. My wife Paula, she went out with her friends for supper, and I went, "I haven't been to the racetrack for a long time." I'm sitting there, and I see this car come out without a wing on it, and I went, "Well, I wonder what the hell he's doing." Here come another one. I went, "I'll be dipped. They're running without wings." I always wanted to do that back in the day. And then I saw 69 come out there, and I said, "No way!" Right?
Yeah.
He's
Yep.
older. He's older than I am.
Yeah.
And I thought, if he can do it, I can do this.
And the rest is history, I guess.
What is it? Is that what kind of made the decision? Then is like, oh my gosh, I gotta try this.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep.
And that was just and I wasn't around when you raced beforehand, but when your car and your stuff pulled into the pits, that was the big story. Is like, oh, Kim Young's back racing again. He's back again, and like, holy cow! So then I got the rundown of your history, a little bit of what happened, and then how you stepped away, and then you came back, and now you're back. It's like, holy crap! And then I see you this year with a wing on, and I'm like, what is going on? This is so cool.
Well, there's this little person behind me here.
Little, he called you little.
There's a cause of this too. We're sitting around watching TV one night, and she says, "Well, why don't you just build 2 of them?"
Don't you hate it when it's always somebody else's fault?
Yeah.
I said, "I believe I can hang around with you for a while." Yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool. And so then the decision kind of made to where, like, okay, we're going to build a 410 then.
Yeah.
And that is awesome.
Now, I'm sorry.
Actually, I'm running a 360, but
360?
well,
Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
But still.
when you were doing the wingless, you had a little setback medically, didn't you?
Yeah.
And because I remember talking to you, and you were like, I don't know. I just think I might be done.
Well-
and then, lo and behold, there's Kim Young again.
I started the Renegade thing, and I couldn't finish a heat race. I run out of air. Found out that I needed a stint,
Okay.
and little by little, and then we got into the wing car there, which is actually easier to drive.
Oh, I bet.
We finished our first feature out there, and I said, "Hell yeah, we can do this."
Yeah, yeah. That's awesome.
I like Corey Palm. He
Yeah.
he commented on there. He's like, it's sure fun racing with them older guys.
Well, that's been the case since I started the first time.
Yeah.
Mike Dobmeyer and me, and Harry was Horse Thief was
Yep,
the oldest.
Harry Johnson,
Yep.
yep.
But we were the 3 fossils there at that time.
Fossils.
So here I'm back.
Wow. Kevin Pappenfuss, I'm the complete opposite. When I quit, I knew I was done, but I still love going to the races. Scott Iverson, Chad, you did get a haircut.
Yeah.
The big news.
Big news. Yeah, 2 cut off there,
There you go.
And that just takes away the alfalfa of it. That's all.
Just a little.
You didn't see that because they were probably gray up there. But
there's no windrows or nothing up there. Yeah.
no windrows.
Do we have the pictures of that,
let's see
of
this.
that crash through the fence? I know it might be tough for him to find him.
We're on standby. But
There we go. And these are just pictures he brought that I took a snap of with my phone and texted them to Dale. But
Holy.
yeah.
What was that from?
Is that the one where you couldn't feel your leg? No, that was that. Okay, how'd you feel after this one? Do you remember?
Oh yeah.
Is that turn 1 and 2?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the fence out there.
Yep.
What's left of it.
Used to be.
And it's a great big, huge timber lane.
Brad,
in
don't
front
look
of
at these
the-
pictures.
of
Yeah.
the car. But that's Donnie Johnson's Limited.
Oh, okay.
And long story of that, but the steering wheel popped off on me.
Oh.
It wasn't. I had help getting brakes that morning, and whoever, I won't say his name, but didn't put the steering wheel back on right. And I never used to take it off and on.
Okay.
So I never checked it. It was my fault. But I slid off the back banking where the scale was at the time.
Okay. Yep.
And I went through the scale about 50 miles an hour or so. And everybody that was on the scale went diving over the sides. It was hysterical.
It was hysterical.
Well, if you can imagine Rick Corbett, the size he was,
Yeah.
going over the railing.
Oh boy.
So I made it through the scale without wadding the car up. And I thought, Jesus, that had to look ridiculous, I climbed the third turn bank, got back on the track, and I thought, well, I'm going to save face. I'm going to really gun it going down the front straightaway, just throwing it into one, and the wheel popped off. And I remember Horse Thief's voice coming in my head. He said, "Kid, if you get in trouble, just gas it. You can usually drive your way out of it."
Yeah.
So I gassed it, all right, and it catapulted right off the end of the track. I had height record out there before Mullen. I think. And she come down, and my foot didn't come off the throttle, and I put the thing right to the floor. She did a wheelie out through the fence. There was a '62 Chevy sitting on the other side, and I drilled everything.
Oh my God.
Was there one more?
I got a few more pictures. Yeah.
Okay, he's got a couple of more.
More?
Oh, okay. Jeez, who's that kid?
Wow.
Yeah, that's me in 2006. I was about 2 years old. and
Holy.
that's my dad's streeter.
That's a good pick.
That's a good picture.
Yep.
I think that's with the back there. That looks really good. Yeah. I love that. I love the design on the side too. That's cool.
What are you, about 5 there? 4?
Yeah, I should be about 4 or 5.
Wait a second. Hold on. I thought you were actually doing good stuff here and remembering this. He's got a cheat sheet next to him about the years and stuff that are what's going on. Kim's over here trying to wrap his brain around what year happened here.
I think you get that from your dad, don't you?
Got to be prepared.
Because Ryan is one of the most prepared people.
Oh, he's awesome.
Yeah.
I figured Steve would be here to bail me out.
Yeah, I thought he was going to. I invited him. The old Kelly's bar car. How about that?
Oh, that is cool.
That's my first Wolf Weld.
Wow. Okay, that's a
your
Wolf Weld
first
car.
one?
Okay, yep.
Look at the differences.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Love that non-down tube car.
Yeah.
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 Oh, those are good pictures.
Almost. Yeah, you are bigger than the trophy.
That is so cool.
That's the Edmonds.
Okay.
That's got quite the history. That held track championship Harry Thurlow in Fargo for many years.
Oh, sure.
And then I believe Mike Dobmeyer bought it from Harry, maybe. And I think Pat had it as well. And then we got it from Mike DeZiel.
Oh, sure. Okay.
That is crazy. I love that.
Tell your dad that's the best shot we've had of him at this whole show.
Yeah.
Now, are you just watching or are you learning in that pick?
Well, I'm sure he was teaching me something. I was still pretty.
It's not in your
Young.
notes. It's not in your notes what you were learning.
No, it is. No, yeah, no.
Yeah, it is.
It wasn't 2050. I mean, it was track championship night, and I was just helping him do
Wow.
just with something. But again, yeah, it was.
That is unbelievable, by the
Yeah.
way. That is pretty cool.
There you go.
Oh, that
Another
car
nice
looks
looking car.
sweet.
That's my Gambler. That has Horse Thief told me the history on that the first time we showed up with it. It was a Gambler house car.
Okay.
Bobby Davis Jr. drove it, and Gullickson's from Hoople bought it. Todd Mack drove it in Knoxville.
Oh, wow. Half the fun about it is the histories of these cars.
Well,
who had it, who drove it.
What year was this, Kim? Do you remember?
That was an '84 Gambler.
Okay.
Look at the number. How it's kind of design and stuff of where it was.
Yeah.
Back. That's just kind of cool. Look at the designs of things. The number of where he is right now from where it was.
Right.
I mean, that number kind of resembles yours, Brad. Now, that is the color is cool. The color schemes are cool. That's just neat.
And that was also the exact same night that I was under the car.
Oh, okay. So there's
believe.
the 3 generations of the boys right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's cool.
That's Holly Wade.
Oh yeah, Holly Wade Nygaard, sure.
My brand new Wolf Weld coming out there without a scratch in it. Wade comes out of the pits. This is just hot laps, right? And Wade come up and drills me in the back bumper. And I was just swearing. I thought, it hit me.
Yeah.
So we took off. We took off on a hot lap session, and I don't know whether this is true or not, but Wade come in the pits after, and he says, "What in the hell are you doing?" I said, "What?" He says, he says, "I couldn't catch you." He says, "Wayne's going to bitch me out."
Right.
I said, "Good."
There you go.
Yeah, and that was in Glendon this year. That's
Okay.
Me in the middle, obviously, my dad on the right, and then my grandpa on the left.
That's the first go around with the Gambler.
And Tommy Eglin said graphics are all paint back then.
Oh,
And
no,
remember the
yeah, I'm
days.
sorry. I knew
absolutely.
that.
Yep.
That didn't really. I mean,
Randy Quickla and his magic brush.
Sure.
that's when when you're painting stripes on cars, people are doing it by hand, and that was an art form.
Yeah,
man.
that's what my dad did for years. I don't
mean,
think he
just
ever
to
went
watch
anywhere
that,
without
that's-
a couple rolls of
There's no
pinstripe in his
stencils
pocket.
on there. He's doing that by hand. That is so cool. That's where the good history comes in too, of how much the sport's evolved.
Sure.
From then. That is so cool.
Right.
That's a good picture.
Thought we
too.
had one more of that wreck through the fence, but oh, there we go. Oh, look at the mill in the background.
You can almost see the Chevy. It's got about
Almost see the head, top of the car, the roof.
the two boys were standing on the top of the car looking over the fence. They didn't have to pay to get in.
Wow.
Oh, and learn their lesson there, didn't they?
Well, the one kid showed up at the hospital with me. Part of the fence caught him or something going
Oh,
through.
no. Yeah.
But I remember when I came to, or when I went through the fence, and then I blacked out. But I saw the kid jumping off of the trunk. And I thought, Jesus, I killed this kid when I came to.
Yeah.
But
Wow. I'm gonna catch up to a couple of texts here. Travis Strandell watched Kim race as a kid. Now I get to race against him. Pretty awesome. Going to race with the veterans of the sport. Terry Blacklands, how many different numbers has Kim had, and what's the significance of each?
just the one.
Just the one. Okay. And we know why.
We know why.
Dan Wisco DeZio, my neighbor, should be on the show. He's got stories for days. This is an awesome trip down memory lane, Kim. Graphics, yep. The Gullickson boys wanted me to drive that sprint car. This was Pappenfuss. I said, are you nuts? Told them to go with Tommy Holmes. Replying to Dan Wisco, yes, they should get Mike on the show. Now, we all this stuff, Brad, that we're talking about, you sure you want to keep racing sprint cars?
It's the risk everyone out there has to take. So it's.
I think it's cool and awesome when you look at the history of your learning right now. If you just sit there and you're listening to Kim talk, the history that's going on and what's built this to get to where you can still do this, that's pretty cool. That's gotta be cool for you to sit there and think about that. You know, think about what everybody did and how much the sport's evolved to get to the point where it's at now, to where it's the car you have is way different than that 1984 we just looked at.
Yeah.
You know, so it's so cool. This is I love hearing all about this stuff.
I guess I got to fix that. 53 was on the Edmonds, but I think Bud picked that one out.
Oh, okay. 53.
And that's the one that they owned and you drove, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wound up with the car, but
Yeah. And then you change it to 49 then.
I think I sold it. I think I sold it and got the Gambler.
Okay.
If I'm
So now what we're going to be waiting
You know,
for.
we're going to get fact checked all tomorrow if we go racing,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Yeah, we're going to hear about it.
He'll be like, yep, that's true. Yep, that's true.
Yeah.
And then-
You were off by a year and a half on that one.
yeah.
Brad, did this just make you want to get married and have kids so we got the fourth generation out there? Or is it a little too early to talk about that? Yeah. I just had to throw that out there. I love doing that. Just to get the squirmy looks on people's faces. You know, they just kind of...
His teeth couldn't be any tighter together right now.
or something. Let's. What?
Dale's
Go ahead.
got
So, third generation driver. Obviously, your dad and your grandpas gave you a ton of tutelage going into the tracks, into the races. First season so far, has there been anything after the races where, hey, you didn't tell me to prepare for this going into after the races, or were they wanting it to be like a learning experience on your own?
Good question.
There's been things here and there that I've had to learn on my own, but pretty much they've given me everything I need to succeed, if I should say that. But they've definitely taught me a lot that I would never have even thought about going into the year. Stuff like trusting the car is a big deal. Like just keeping the gas held down, going in the corner, it'll stick. You know, they can say that as much as they want, but you have to just trust it yourself.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah, well,
we just had a driver on that did the same thing.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what it was all year. It was me asking them if they were, sick in the head, because it's like you don't believe it until you do it.
Oh,
because,
right.
They can say it as much as they want, but
and you're seeing the progression from, like, let's just say our standpoint,
Absolutely, yeah.
yeah,
from where you started. We were talking to Ryan beginning of the year, and he's like, I just told him, take your time, keep down low, get his feet wet, whatever. And now, you're seeing the confidence level come in, and you're seeing where you're going to the corner, and you're not just hugging the bottom anymore.
Yeah.
You're on that top cushion now. You can see the trust factor getting in there. And that's pretty cool to see the progression that's happening. I mean, so you got a long road to hoe, but man, you got to stick with it. It'll get there.
yeah.
We have to take a break.
Break time.
Time to make a little bit of money. It is Dirty Thursday, brought to you by River City Speedway. It is NOSA 410 Sprint Car Rookies Day number 2. We'll be back with Brad Flaten and Kim Young and the Bullring Boys after this. Life doesn't ever seem to slow down. Everything needs to be done right now. Well, when it comes time for an oil change, stop into Valvoline Instant Oil Change. You know, most changes are done in about 15 minutes. Valvoline Instant Oil Change does more too. Tranny and coolant flushes, tire rotations, and batteries. And included in your oil change, they're going to top off your fluids, check your tires, battery, lights, wipers, and cabin air filter too. And you get discounts for fleets and the military. You know, they can text and email invoices and coupons and mention Grand Forks Best Source and get $10 off your oil change. Valvoline Instant Oil Change. They're open Monday through Saturday with no appointment needed. Pickup and delivery is also available if you live in Grand Forks. And Valvoline Instant Oil Change is now hiring. If you'd like to join their team as an assistant manager, customer service rep, or lube tech, stop in to find out more. Valvoline Instant Oil Change for a complete oil change and more. They're at 3325 South 38th Street, or call them 701-780-8462. And make sure you tell them Grand Forks Best Source sent you. All right, we are back on a Dirty Thursday, brought to you by River City Speedway on NOSA.
Yay!
410 Sprint Car Rookie Day number 2. Nick Curtis. Brad's been gaining a lot of speed and great confidence in the car. Proud to watch him progressing in the right direction. There you go. We were talking off air. What's the story? What?
Oh, there's so many cool things that happen when we get off air. We've been doing this for a while now, and when you guys get on here first, everybody's all nervous about talking and everything, and all of a sudden when we start going, we're like, hey, we should talk about this, talk about this. So we got off air, and Kim's got an awesome story he wants to tell us. I think we should listen to the Wolfgang story here.
We were going down pretty much every week. I mean, Wade was good at wadding up cars, and so we after Sonny quit, we were playing musical chairs, and everybody got in the car was wrecking it.
Yeah.
Which was good for me because I was down at Doug's shop every week. But I asked Steven, I said, do you want to go along with me? I'd been down there 3-4 times, whatever. Sure, you know. And we got down there and was waiting for Doug to show up. And I told him, I said, you behave yourself, because I'm more nervous than Steven is, you know. And
Yeah.
I said, it's yes, sir, no, sir. You be respectful, you know. Yep, he's going, you know. So here comes Wolfgang pulling up on a Sportster, and we got out, and he looks at Steven, he goes, hey, stud. And Steven turned around and looked at me and go, you know what you can do with your yes, sir, no, sir?
That's funny. Yeah.
Yes, I did know Brad's mom works at the track. Yeah. It's obvious when you first see her. It's like, oh, hey, I know who you are.
She does?
Yeah, she's in the front office, or in the office. At least that's where I see her when I get there.
Right.
Selling stand tickets.
Yeah. She's in the little ticket booth thingy there. Yeah.
Well, it's amazing because like you get it, like Ryan was, when I first got here, was the guy in corner 2.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you know, he was up there and they're doing it too. So it's like, yeah.
He's when we were talking about how prepared he was, did I tell you the Hall of Fame story? And well, it was funny because who was I talking to yesterday about the fact that he's a game changer for the Hall of Fame night.
Oh, that's no doubt.
Yeah, well, he called me up. I think it was on a Monday or Tuesday this year, and he goes, "Hey, I got stuff for the Hall of Fame." He goes, "Can we meet so you can pre-read it?"
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I usually don't pre-read anything, but okay. So I drove into town and I met him, and he gave me all the scripts for everybody. And I think there's 5 inductees this year, and
there was.
It went off just perfect. I mean, the guy is incredible. I can make people's writing sound good. I'm not a very good writer, and between him and like Amanda Joe, these guys write great stuff. But so it was all said and done, and I went up to him and I go, "Man, that was awesome. You did a great job. You know, thanks and everything." And he goes, "Did you pre-read those?" I said, "No." He goes, "I didn't think you did, but
No.
I didn't want to offend him because the writing was perfect, and when it's that good, you don't have to pre-read and all that stuff." So, but it went just perfect.
How long have you been doing it? I mean, I think you can pretty much do everything right off the bat, but it's just nice to have that. So, yeah, Ryan did such a great job. I told him that too. And those background biographies were awesome.
Yeah, these guys deserve it.
And you know, it's hitting the right spots when I'm very fortunate I get to be down there with them, and you see the emotion coming off of them when John's reading. That's pretty cool. So when you saw the emotion come off of what John's reading, and you know that Ryan wrote it, that's right. Kudos to him for sure.
Absolutely, did a great job. Did you play any sports growing up, or you just been around racing, or I want to know a little bit about you. Let's pick your brain a little bit here.
All right, so yeah, as a kid, I kind of bounced around sports a lot. Couldn't really find something I liked, and then I started playing tennis and just kept going with that. And then I played for Central for all my years.
Oh,
Okay, I
starting
see. I didn't know that.
I'm starting to link that together.
Starting
now.
to put two and two together.
Yeah,
Huh? Yeah.
Now I'm seeing this.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say what I'm seeing, but you know what I'm talking about, and you know what I'm talking about. So okay, tennis, got it.
Somebody's really giddy right now watching this show. I can guarantee that. Did you guys win any state titles when you were on the team?
So in 2019, we won the state title. I wasn't on varsity, but we won it. And then in 2020, we won the state title, and that's when I was on varsity. In 2021, we won it as well, back to back.
Well, about that double state title, 2 state titles.
To get to one's amazing. To win that many is pretty good.
Yeah. So do you have any winter hobbies? Do you do anything when it's not racing season?
Yes, me and my dad go snowmobiling.
Oh yeah,
pretty much every single week. We have a group of guys we normally go with. Sometimes we'll go with Dobmeyer's crew on Wednesday nights, and yeah.
Okay, next question. This is a big one. What kind of snowmobile do you drive?
So it's a 2003 Skidoo. It's an MXZ. It's an 800. You're a Polaris fan. I'm taking it.
No. Oh, that's even worse. Remember, hey, think back the story. I talked to a young kid here. He said he's from where?
Thief River Falls.
Thief River Falls. So what do you think his favorite is? Think about it.
Arctic Cat?
Yeah, it is.
Ditch pickle, baby.
Pickles.
No, I'm not going to hold it against you. A snowmobile's a snowmobile. Dobmeyer doesn't ride the right brand either. So,
hey, as long as they're out there doing something, having fun, that's pretty cool.
Absolutely, absolutely. Are you pretty hands-on? I mean, you must have learned at an early age. Were you helping your dad in the shop? Because I know the shop is in your garage. At least it was before.
It was, yeah.
Okay, and were you in the shop a lot with your dad working on his stuff? And did you learn a lot that way, or are you still kind of picking it up again now?
I am picking it up again. As a kid, I wasn't really around it much. He was gone a lot, so it was I was never really around. He was always in the garage, always working. I mean, he put in hours on that car. And
sure.
But I was never really around it because I was so young. I mean,
yeah, it was funny how I found out where you lived because I used to work with Barry Romo, and I don't know if you know Barry, right across down the street about your back alley there.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I saw your dad walking around in the alley, and I'm like, what the hell is he doing over there? And I walk over across the street, and there he is. How about this for a jab? I was on varsity my whole career. Had to put that jab in there. Gee, I wonder who that came
Who
from.
put that jab in there?
Jeez,
right there. You can read that.
know, yeah. The snowmobiling thing. Do you ever worry about wrecking and getting hurt? Because we were talking about broken bones and injuries and stuff before we went on the air. But you can break bones on a snowmobile very easy. In fact, easier than in a sprint car. But do you ever worry about that kind of stuff? Or have you been hurt yet?
Well, my motto so far is I haven't crashed one, so I don't have to think about it yet.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I'm going with. I mean, yes.
Kim said the same thing, and then he ended up through a wall.
Yeah. No, it definitely is. I mean, I've had a lot of close calls, but nothing ever to look at. I mean, I've tipped him over. I've sent him flying because I did something stupid. But
see, back in when I was that age, the drinking age was only 19. And we were racing and doing a lot of snowmobiling stuff. And our motto was a lot different than yours. Ours was drive fast and wreck shit. That's what we did.
Right?
Yeah. Then I just roll over to Arctic Cat, bring it back to engineering, and put things back together and go.
Oh, man.
You pull up, they go, what color's your cast this week?
Yeah.
Something different all the time.
Kim, what'd you do in the winter? What was your winter gig besides... Did you have any hobby in the winter? But it was just
work on cars in the garage.
Yeah.
Basically, I built a 34 Ford pickup.
Oh, wow. Do you still have that?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I got a 55 Chevy. I'm working on
my favorite.
When I'm not working on these things, everything kind of gets put on hold with the race cars.
Sure.
Now, have you guys?
That's pretty cool.
Have you guys looked ahead yet to the future, the rest of this year, next year, off season? I mean, it seems to me like you have found almost like a new life when we start talking about this. But I'm going to start with you. You have been easing your way into this. I don't know if you're traveling that much now or if you have been, but what is your plan for next year if things keep going the way they are?
Well, if things keep going the way they are, I would love to go out next year. I guess that's my plan for next year is to show up again and just do kind of the same thing. maybe not as much traveling as this year because we've showed up to every single show. We've finished every single show. And yeah. But yeah, next year, that's pretty much our plan. Or as of right now, it's our plan to just show up and maybe just do River Cities. But obviously, it's racing. You got to do it as it comes. So.
Yeah.
Do you want to make this a long thing? Like, well, let's face it, like your dad and your grandpa. I mean, your dad was around. He's not even that old, and it seems like the guy raced for 90 years. But do you want to be doing that and up until if you ever have kids are old enough to race?
Yeah, no, I do plan on sticking around. I mean, obviously things change in life, but as of right now, yeah, it's something if I just keep progressing and keep getting better, and that's something I could easily see myself doing for a while now.
Kim, you had mentioned the wingless cars are a lot harder to drive than the wing cars, and you can see that.
Yeah.
When they first started this wingless tour, you could see how they saw on the wheel, but that's what the wing is for, to keep you on the glued to the ground a little bit. But now that you have found your way back to the winged cars again, what does the future hold for you? Do you want to keep doing this until either your body says, okay, for the last time, this is enough, or it doesn't sound like you're going to get forced into retirement from your better half?
No, she claims she's still behind me, so.
Yeah.
No, I'm actually leaning harder at the wing car. Bottom line is I haven't been in either one of the cars enough this year to even...
Sure.
Just stupid things happening. Just a whole long list. I've never had so much trouble building cars. But, and with the weather and everything else. But I'm thinking at least one more year with the wing car. Thinking about doing the Nationals in Devil's Lake.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Yep.
If I can keep it out of the wall.
And I was going to say, and this is just a funny little jab, don't take it personal, but it must be easy to find help because all your friends got to be retired.
I wish that were true. Yeah. You're looking at my help.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good.
That's all right.
And she's got no problem with it? Was she into the racing scene at all before you met?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Her two brothers, Bob and Bill, are both maniacs.
Yeah. Yes, they are. Yep. I know them well.
But not really.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
And it wasn't a problem. She knew what she was getting herself into.
I kind of think she did.
Yeah.
She's
back there like, I don't know.
I don't think she claims she doesn't watch. I say I need you to video me so I know what I'm doing out there. See what she won't do it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Hard to watch.
Okay, so is she one of those ones that just doesn't want to watch when you're out there for fear, or?
I think so.
So that means John Roberts,
a lot.
We need to talk louder so she can hear what's going on then, or something like that. Ryan has a car up in the rafters at River City Speedway. Yes, he does. Still up there.
Yes.
I never thought you were as old as you are. I really didn't. I'm a horrible judge, I guess, at that thing. But
right there with you, yeah.
You talk about the help you have is right there. You are also one of those kind of guys. I know. Well, like you said, there's been issues this year. You haven't probably got to race as much as you want to. You don't have a lot of sponsorship on your car, and I think that's kind of the way you want it, isn't it?
Well,
I mean, it's always nice to have the help.
Yeah. No, I'd take anything they want to throw at me, I guess. But I have two helpers, Paula's sons, Ben and Bud.
Oh, sure. Okay.
And Ben has helped me. Ben used to pit for Nick. Randall.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Okay.
Long time. So Ben knows his way around the pits, and we had Bud help us out in Devil's Lake and stuff. But for the most part, it's just me and Paula.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And how about you there, young man? I suppose the dad's out there a lot, maybe grandpa, or do you do the majority of the work?
Yeah, it's or for crew, yeah, it's me, my dad, my grandpa, and then my friend Mason, and then we got another guy that was helping Shane for a while is Brad Buckner, and then Jim Cooper too. That's all the guys we have.
Okay, and sponsorship. Who's your sponsors? Who's on that race car?
So it's Forks Finest Auto Body and Car Wash, and Shane and Don are over there. They're really nice. It's Custom Air, Mechanical Contracting, Strata Corporation, Bears Home Solutions, and I'd like to thank Ryan Grindy and Jenny at Grinch Service and Sales.
Sure, great people.
Yeah.
You know, and the funny thing is it's nice to have sponsors that stick with the family, because your car doesn't look that much different than when your old man drove it a couple of years ago. I mean, you still got the Custom Air, and you still got the same signage, Strata, who was with your dad forever and ever. And of course, Ryan and Jenny, boy, I've had some great stories with those guys too. Yeah.
One thing I should add, without sponsorship and all that, but Tommy Eglund built my engine. Tom's been nothing but help.
Great guy.
Through this whole deal. And Todd Slocum has been just a ton of help for me.
You know, and it's
Both
so
great
funny.
guys,
yeah. And I get such a kick out of talking with Tommy, because I think he's got one of the best senses of humor. I know he's awesome on social media. I still remember my wife and I, a few years back, just decided to take a road trip, and we ended up in Climax. Yeah. And I started talking. I knew who the bartender was because I know her sister. They're from overseas, and so they've got a pretty, you can tell the accent. And I'm like, you know who Eglins are? They run sprint cars. Oh, yeah, just pointed. And so we decided to take a little drive. And of course, here they all are. Tommy and his boy, they were all out there working on cars. And God, we stopped by, and it was just going to be for a couple of minutes. And I think Lori and I hung around there for probably an hour, if not longer, and just sat and BS with those guys. And ever since, I try to stop in and talk to them and at least say hi in the pits. It doesn't always work that way. But what you just said about Tommy, we hear that all the time.
Yes.
How many people want to thank him? You haven't really had a bad night yet, have you? Because what I'll say is I want to hear about your worst night and your best night. A worst night's usually a pretty bad wreck.
Yep.
He knows what we're talking about, but you haven't got there yet, have you?
No,
and I didn't mean the yet, but you haven't been in a bad wreck.
No. So yeah, we haven't really had too bad of a night. I mean, like I said, we finished every feature, and a lot of that comes down to, keeping maintenance up on the car and just staying out of trouble, just seeing things as they happen. I mean, yeah, there's been a lot of close calls this year, but some of it's luck, but a lot of it's just staying out of trouble. Just you see it as it's coming, and you're just hope and pray, just turn and hope.
You know, this is so weird, because if I close my eyes and listen to him, it sounds like Ryan, and if I close my eyes and listen to him, it's Steven.
Yeah.
It's just, they're so much alike. Well, Ryan's watching, by the way. Many of the cars out there couldn't do it without Tommy Eglin, and that is absolutely correct.
Yes.
I'm going to give him a round of applause.
Sure. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You got anything for him?
No, I think I just sat back and listened a while here. This is so cool to listen. I just love to hear the history of it, you know. And the pictures Kim had for us were amazing, just to see the differences of cars and generations and how it came about. And now the love is back, and he's going for it, right? So that's so cool to hear. I love the 3 generation stories.
Yeah, absolutely. I did want to ask.
That's so cool.
I wanted to ask you this, Brad. You grew up around the racetrack. You were there all the time as a kid. You see how kids are around race car drivers, and when they get into the pits, the eyes are like this, and it's part of the game. It's part of you were that kid one time.
Yeah.
How is it now that the shoe is on the other feet and these kids look at you like you're a rock star?
It's definitely different that they see me as a rock star, but I can also see myself in them, where me and my sister would constantly go up and down the pits all the time, collecting cards and collecting autographs. And now I see that too, and it's happening to me, and it's surreal almost, because it's like, I was there at one point doing all that, and now it's on to me to spread that, like, thanks for coming to the track and stuff like that.
Yeah, take a picture in the car, and you just made the kids' whole world.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they walk out of there with a grin from ear to ear, and that is so cool. And we see that all the time. How is it for you now with the kids coming in and saying hi? And do you like that part of it at the end of the night, sitting around, maybe tipping a cold one or two?
We haven't done it a whole lot. I had to turn these kids away. I didn't have any pictures.
Oh, yeah.
So I feel kind of bad. But no, back in the day, I look forward to that. That was probably the most fun.
Yeah.
The kids would come down and had this little girl walk up to me one night. I don't know who she was. Geez, Kim, you did a great job tonight. She was about 5 years old.
Wow.
I thought, who are you watching?
Well, you know, and that tells you about race fans. They start at a young age, and she knew who the heck you were.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't say that about a lot of football fans, or you know, it's like, oh, well, I really like that number 11, or I really like that number 49. It's when they know that much about you. Kevin Pappenfuss, great show, awesome show again. John Roberts, glad to see Kim D. Young racing again. Timmy Schwantz, there you go. This is, was it as bad as you thought it was going to be?
No, that went pretty much as well as I.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And did we get everything on your notes? What are we missing?
Nothing. Oh, I guess I should give a shout out to Corey Olson. He's also
Okay.
another one of my crew guys.
Okay.
So
we did get
he helped too. Yeah.
It comes prepared.
Yeah.
I like it.
I was told by a certain somebody, good luck trying to get you on the show after. And the reason I reached out to you is because I have had people over the last couple of years saying we need to get you on this show. And when I finally did, I kind of approached Steven about it first. And he's like, well, yeah, but good luck.
Yeah.
Well, about 5 minutes later, I text him saying, got him booked for Thursday. And but pretty easy when you get in here, isn't it?
It's fun.
Yeah. Laurel Sherman Close. I'm really enjoying the episodes and hearing the stories. During my years working in the pits, it was so fun to interact with Kim, Lou Ann, and the family. Stephen was my fax man, even as young kid. And Ryan, Heidi, his dad, and their family are amazing too. You all made it so much fun.
That's cool.
Laurel Skeving. Close.
Okay.
She's a sweetheart.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. It's got to be pretty cool when you hear things like this. And I don't even know, do you know who that is? I mean, but that should tell you something. When they know that much about you and can say things like that, that's pretty cool.
Laurel worked in the parts trailer
Oh, sure.
with John.
Yep, okay. Man, this was fun.
See, it's just to listen to the stories and people are enjoying it, and it reminisce to bring back these stories and stuff, and to hear about the 50. And nobody, I bet you, really looked at that 3 now. But now when your car goes out there, they're going to try to figure out look at that 3 and see that as well.
Absolutely.
So I think this is cool. So thank you both for coming in.
And
I mean,
don't by any means think this is your last shot in here.
No.
Not even close. Steven is the bomb. He's been helping us out with the stats on Kenna's rookie deal this year. The guy has so much info in his head. He really does. And his head doesn't ever seem to get that big either. I love the dude. But anyway, did we get it? Is there anything more you want to add? Either one of you guys?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, I'm going to go home and see if my basement got flooded.
Yeah. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, man. And looking forward to seeing you guys again here at the racetrack. Fingers crossed, maybe tomorrow.
Yeah,
we'll have to keep your eyes open on social media. Wow, I had a blast. Thank you to all of the people that texted in today. We sure appreciate it. Brad Flaten and Kim Young. Let's give them a round of applause again. Thanks to our producer, Dale the producer. Of course, the other half of the Bullring Boys, Chad Hoff. Coming up next week, River City Speedway 18th Annual John Seitz Memorial. $9,200 to win. Also, the 4th Annual Howie Schill Memorial Thursday night got moved to Grand Forks. And how about the 15th Annual Al Delane Memorial? That's all coming up next week as part of the John Seitz weekend. 3 days. All right, here's the deal. Everybody knows our track record. You come on a Dirty Thursday, you got a really good chance of winning the next day. So just so you guys know that. We booked Ryan. Who did we book? We booked Dustin Strand in like April. He's already saying he's coming. I went and talked to him yesterday. He will be here. Here's the deal. We're going to leave the studio doors open next Thursday for the John Seitz Memorial. You want to come in and sit down and talk with us for a couple of minutes, we will absolutely let you do that. So
I love that idea.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
So come on in, put it in your calendars. And again, we want to thank everybody for bringing me this show tonight. What a great deal. Our show brought to you by Rumor Sports Bar Casino right here in the Grand Cities Mall. Wall-to-wall TVs. In fact, they took a bus from Rumors to the World of Outlaws Friday, and he said there wasn't hardly anybody on it. First
come
time.
on.
No, I know. That's what I said. Come on. Really, they like walking 9 miles to find a place to park. But Rumor Sports Bar and Casino, you know what? Maybe the bus didn't work that good, but it does to all the big concerts, Sioux football or Fighting Hawks football. Hockey games, all Fighting Hawks sports. Home of the world-famous beer tower. Mondays is DJ Trivia Night. Stop in today. $7 sandwich and a side. They have got great lunch and dinner specials with that $7 express lunch. And go try a little bit of gambling, too, all right? They're open 7 days a week, 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. BT, Scotty, Jake, the whole crew at Rumor Sports Bar and Casino. Big screens and TV streams coming your way at 1 o'clock. Then tonight at 6:30, catch Bill, Monty, Dale, and the crew at Forks Sports Highway. The best local sports podcast, period. And Brew Brothers, 9 o'clock tonight. If you like beer, you're going to want to watch the Brew Brothers podcast. Enjoy a full day of great shows. I'll catch you tomorrow. Remember to like, share, tag, and follow us. Hit that notification bell on your smartphone. You never miss a show. Forks are awesome. Grab Forks' best source has given the Forks an identity again.